Happy and enchanting day, dear children. I welcome you all to the English Corner. Children, what we are going to learn today is a dialogue writing. Right? Shall we move? Right. What is dialogue actually? Dialogue is what characters in fiction says. Right? It is how characters express themselves verbally. Now I am expressing myself. Right? And you will talk to your friend. When you're talking to your friends, you will express yourself. That is what verbally. Right? Speaking. Usually in conversation with each other. So dialogue is what characters in fiction says. It is how character express themselves verbally. Usually in conversation with each other. It might look like this. What do you want for dinner? Jack asked his friend John. I don't know. You decide, John replied. So this is a one set of conversation between two friends, Jack and John. Right? This is a model. What does dialogue look like? Dialogue usually appears in quotation mark, double quotation marks, as in the example above. Have you seen that? Can you able to see now? See here, double quotation markers. Right? These are the dialogues. But some writers get creative with their punctuation. See how creative you are. The same way the authors also will be creative. Some use an M dash. You want to know what is an M dash? See here, a big small dash is there, isn't it? It's not a hyphen, it's an underscore, 2 3 underscore together, merged together. Right? This is what is M dash. Some use an M dash to notate a line of dialogue like this. What do you want for dinner? Jack asked his friend John. Right? So wherever that hyphen is there, M dash is there. Hereafter I will call this as M dash. Right? Where is that? Okay, M dash here. M dash. So wherever M dash is there, that is a dialogue line. Now, some writers don't notate dialogue at all. For example, see a Nobel Prize-winning author José Saramago treats his dialogue just like the rest of the narration. Right? He will not specify anything. He will not specify quotation. He will not specify M dash. Just like that, he will go on with dialogues. Jack asked his friend John, what do you want for dinner? And John replied, I don't know, you decide. See, it is like a narration, like a paragraph, right? He's a Nobel Prize winner here. So, we'll see. If you put your dialogue in quotation mark, note that punctuation, very, very important, right? Periods is full stop, like periods, and question marks go inside the punctuation marks. So double quotation, within the double quotation, you have to include full stop, question mark, exclamation, whatever punctuation marks you are including, everything has to be included within double quotation mark, right? And if a character is quoting someone else inside the double quotation, if some quotes has to be quoted, then that has to come in single quotation to differentiate, right? And the single quotation has to be completed first, then the double quotation has to complete. If a character is quoting someone else, you put the quote inside single quotation mark within the double quotation. First you have to start the single quotation, close the single quotation, then you have to close the double quotation, right? When I asked Jane about, see here, first is they started with the double quotation, right? They started with the double quotation. When I asked Jane about it, her response was, Now here they want to quote another one. That's why they included single quotation. Just not sushi. Just not sushi is within single quote. Okay. So they completed the single quote. Then they completed the double quotes. Right. Can you able to understand this? Right. Shall we move to the next? Now, what is the difference between dialogue and exposition? So, there is a word called exposition. What is that? There are two types of narration here. One is dialogue and another one is exposition. All these are in fiction. In fiction, there are two types of narration. One is dialogue and another one is exposition. Let us see what is the difference between. Dialogue refers to the things that the characters say in a story. Dialogue refers to the things that the characters say in a story. Exposition refers to sequence of descriptive narration. Right? So, dialogue represent to the particular character. Exposition refers to sequence of descriptive narration. It will be like a paragraph, right? Dialogue will be small sentence, right? Unless you are writing a film script or a stage play. See, for example, now you are very small and you will be writing conversation or dialogue writing just for 5 marks or 3 marks like that. Only 5 to 10 sentences you will write. But assume that you are going to write for a film script or stage play. It is best to maintain a balance between dialogue and exposition. If the dialogue is too big, do you think anybody will sit near the stage to listen to you? No, it will be boring, isn't it? So, how much ever possible, we have to break the dialogues into small, precise dialogues and make it interesting. For example, in one film, Vijay would have used this dialogue, "I'm waiting." Right? This dialogue was very famous. Right? But it was very precise. In so many other films also, he talked so many dialogues, but not that much famous. So, if it is very precise and it will be effective if it is properly used, right? Unless you are writing a film script or a stage play, it is best to maintain a balance between dialogue and exposition. Try breaking up long passages of exposition with short dialogues. Even a sentence or two can be refreshing. If you have a long section of dialogue, it's good to insert brief section of exposition to keep your reader grounded in time and place, to make the audience sit. Okay, you have to deliver the content in a precise manner. That is what. So, dialogue writing. Now, take your composition. Now, are you ready? Take your composition. First, write index. Put today's date. Have you completed? Yes, good. Write the heading as dialogue writing. See the spelling dialogue. Here you will make mistake dear. Check the spelling dialogue. Dialogue. Pronunciation is dialogue. UE. The spelling has to be UE. Right? Dialogue writing. Then you have to come inside. This is a question. Right? Left side you have to write the question. A dialogue between two friends who have met after several years. You understood the question? So, dialogue between two friends who have met after several years. So, in right side, you are going to write the answer, write exercise number and date. Okay, what is the exercise number? Very good. Write that exercise number and date. Write dialogue writing. Then start writing the answers. Now we are going to write the answers. Now, whatever name you wish to add, you can write. So I am giving Divya and Smita. If you wish, you can give any name. Right? Divya. Hi Smita. What a pleasant surprise. I'm so glad to see you after so many years. Whose dialogue? Divya's dialogue. Now Smita is answering. Me too, Divya. It feels like ages. That means so many years. It feels like ages. How are you and what are you doing here? Now Divya is saying, I'm good. I got married 3 years ago and I live here with my husband and son. Now Smita, that's great news. I too moved back with my husband from Pune 6 months ago. Divya said, so where do you live? Smita's dialogue, I live in Khar. Divya says, we live very close. We should meet sometime. Right? So Smita says, yes, we should. How about this weekend? Divya says, sounds great. You should bring your husband along. Smita, sure I will. Okay, here you may get confused. Sure I will. Sure I will. So what mistake you find here? I sure will is given there by the Nobel Prize winners, Nobel Prize-winning authors. But I feel little bit difficult here because maybe we don't know that much, right? Sure, I will. So it is your wish. So if you follow I sure will or sure, I will, right? Now Divya says, I'm sorry, I have to rush now. I have to pick up my son from school. And Smita said, I understand. Duties come first. Divya said, well then, see you on Saturday. Smita also said, goodbye. So that is the end of the conversation in your composition. Right? But you have to learn more about dialogue writing. Shall we? Right, dear? Now, there are 5 rules of dialogue writing. Without knowing the rules, we just completed the conversation. This is what we are doing. But actually, there are 5 rules to be followed. What are they? There are a number of rules to keep in mind if you want to use dialogue in your writing. First rule. Dialogue should reflect your character's background. Dialogue should reflect your character's background. To get dialogue right, you must understand how your character has to speak in the stage. Suppose you are writing a play. So you will design characters, right? One hero will be there. One villain will be there. 2 main characters we selected. Then hero will have family, right? Mother, father, all that. That too you have to select. Brother, sister, etc. Villain, for villain who are all the sub-artists, that too you have to select. And you have to design each dialogue for each and every person. Okay, that is really a very hard task. So this is likely influenced by where they come from, their social class, upbringing, and myriad other factors. So you have to consider so many things while you're writing a dialogue. Okay, see for example, if they are a foreigner, they don't know Tamil, then fully English dialogues. If they are a Tamilian, that too different slangs were there. That you have to consider. Right? So children, we will discuss about this in the next session also. Time is going to be over. Thank you, dear.